Artificial intelligence at school? Now, how's that going to work out? Listen in because I have a few thoughts and ideas. If you're a newbie to AI and not even sure what ChatGPT is, this video isn't really for you. I'll link something in the description box that will help you figure out what this tool is, but this video is more about how you can use it appropriately at school. When it comes to artificial intelligence and ChatGPT, teachers, well, humans in general, find themselves on one side of the fence or the other. It's either the most amazing things humans have ever created, or it's going to be the innovation that kills us all. I want to invite you to set aside your previously conceived notions on the topic and take a few minutes to listen in. The next 3 minutes of this video are an excerpt from Jenna Kutcher's Gold Digger podcast when she had Jasmine Star on as a guest. The entire podcast is about entrepreneurship, but this part that I've pulled for you, however, is great no matter who you are and will definitely give you some food for thought on the subject of AI and ChatGPT. Let's listen in.
Hey, come with me as I figure this out. And I honestly feel like that is where so many people are with AI right now. Let me just paint you a quick picture of some of the conversations I've had around AI, because it is not necessarily polarizing, but I think people feel a certain type of way when artificial intelligence is brought up. The two camps that I've seen the most in is some people think it's the most amazing thing ever, and it's going to simplify our lives, and it's going to transform the way that we do business, the way that we search for things, the way that we use keywords. The other camp of people is terrified. What does this mean? Are we building like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and are we going to regret it? And all of the scary sides of AI. Talk to me about what your perspective is on this topic that isn't necessarily new, but it's new in terms of how entrepreneurs are utilizing it and able to utilize it to help further their business.
So before we get there, if you allow me to let's skedaddle around one particular thing.
Yes.
Is that what's happened in recent human history that has been really highlighted on the back of social media is the idea that we want to find community. If we're lacking community in our lives, we try finding it online. And the quickest and fastest way to build community is through polarities. So
Yes.
the more drastic you have an opinion, we see this in political parties, we see this about like big political issues, we see this about culture, we see this about race. And so you have these big polarities, but the vast majority of people actually identify with being in the middle, but in order to assimilate into a community, they go into the polarity. And so what you just clearly articulated were people who want to find community of like-minded people and say, I too believe in this. But the vast majority, studies show, are people in the middle. And that's who I want to speak to today. It is not red, it's not blue, it's purple. That's what I'm from Gary Vee. Shout out to my boy Gary Bear. So if we take this perspective, both perspectives are correct. And yet both things can be true and they can simultaneously coexist. There are people who absolutely love it and it's radically changing the way people do business. And do we run the risk of having AI do some really negative, nefarious things? We do. Now, here's what I firmly believe. AI will not do the nefarious things. The people who are running and knowing AI will do the nefarious things. And so I have taken it as my personal perspective, and this is what I want to encourage people to do, is that AI is something that can be trained. You can train a pit bull to be very angry, and you could train a pit bull to be a loving pet. If there are more people who are participating in training the AI models and show the goodness of humans, show the middle of the road, we all want to achieve the same thing, then we're actually making a difference in what's coming out. And as a side note, for anybody who's listening, who might be a person of color and or a female or an underrepresented group of population, there are times in human history where you get to be the forefront of using, changing, and embracing things that gives you a seat at the table. For too long, I have seen brown women not have a seat. And now this technology comes, and far be it from me to be afraid of it when I have the opportunity to sit in the fear, dialogue about the fear, and then make active changes to be on the front of how we get to empower entrepreneurship in general, but specifically for people who didn't have voices. Hey, let's show up. Let's give people a voice. That's where I feel about it.
Oh my gosh.
Wasn't that amazing? We'd be foolish to think that our students are going to ignore this new technology. Rather than spend our time creating policies and procedures to prevent its use or penalize those who give it a try, why not teach students the powerfully good ways they can use it, the ways they can learn from it and build off the foundation it provides? Rather than allowing ChatGPT and AI to do the thinking for us, what if we learned how to work better in collaboration with it? People used to think calculators and GPS would be the end of us all. Our teachers assured us that there was no way we'd carry a calculator around with us everywhere, so why learn to rely on it? Oops. So rather than rant and rage, let's lean in. The activities in the resources that I've created will help you and your students explore the power of ChatGPT and then build on the foundation it provides. Many of the tasks and texts associated with this resource focus on the theme that humans are smarter than robots, that we bring life experiences, emotions, and our own special sauce to life that auto-generated content can't possibly replicate. Hopefully, the combination of these resources and this video will create a solid learning experience for your students. It's a great reminder that polarization of any topic is harmful, and an open mind is a wonderful thing. Thanks so much for visiting my channel, Learning with the Word Nerd. I hope you come back again for more great content and other awesome videos. I'll see you again next time. Happy reading and writing.